were speaking about the periods as well, that they are our fifth vital sign that hasn't been recognized, and the
Yes.
importance of every day in the month or when you have your menstruation, noticing how each month it completely changes. I'm noticing from a lot of feedback from people is they'll panic. One month they'll get clots, or one month the cycle will be a little bit shorter. Or what I am noticing that is tends to be a theme is that women's menstruations are changing a lot. Somebody that was always 28 days now is it's erratic. So would you have any comments on that? I know you mentioned the trauma, but maybe that's the invitation of what they should start investigating. And if I have a change, what do I
Yeah.
do?
Okay, so it all starts really very small. Okay, so for example, say if your body is shifting more to an estrogen dominant state, okay, meaning you have too much of the bad kind of estrogen in your body, and that is going to manifest as in terms of painful periods or a heavy bleeding, or deep down, it can also tend to manifest as endometriosis or adenomyosis or fibroids or polyps, whatever it is, right? So the root cause for all these issues would be estrogen dominance. So you need to start working on it. And the signs that your body will start showing is it can be really very small, like breast tenderness, and it can be excessive mood swings, migraines before your periods, and spotting during ovulation or prior spotting before your periods. They're really very tiny to notice, right? But then they are the signs from your body saying that you are moving towards estrogen dominant state, right? And sometimes you get clots in your periods all of a sudden. So in that case, if you are a person who don't usually get clots, but you've got clots in that particular cycle, there's two things that I would want you to see. One, just identify how your past month was in terms of stress. Are you heavily stressed? Then that can lead to this one, right? So it can be just a once occurring thing. But if you're getting the clots accompanied with the cramps next time, then it means your body is progressing in terms of estrogen dominance. So you need to start working in your body to ensure that you're flushing out the excessive estrogen out from your body. So work on the toxin exposure, work on your liver health, because your liver is where your estrogen is getting metabolized. So you need to start working on your liver. And the third thing is that, are you constipated? Work on the constipation, because constipation can also lead to the accumulation of the waste that the body is trying to push out, but it can also lead to more of estrogen dominant state as well in few, or that is a sign that your body is giving in terms of estrogen dominance. So these are really very small signs, but you will be able to
Mm,
understand much better when you start picking them up. And for some, it can be a tender breast, but for a few, it can be breast pain,
mm,
right? So that is a difference. And the problem with this is that this can also come genetically as well, right?
mm,
If your mom or your paternal side, your aunt basically, right? They are going to have an estrogen dominant gene. And if it has passed over to you, there is a higher chance for you to experience that. So I come from a heavy androgen dominant age. All my aunts, they are extremely high on androgens. Like you can feel that androgen when you look at them, right? They look very masculine, and that is what it manifests in your body as well. So you are more prone to get a side of a PCOS. So what do I need to do? I should start watching my sugar intake. I should start watching my energy levels, try to bring them down, try to slow them down. Problem is that being genetically androgenic, what it makes me is that I cannot slow down. It is very difficult for me to slow down. So it's a very heavy task for me to manage that, but you will be able to do that. So when you have genetics, you also have epigenetics, right? So it's not that if you have been passed down something genetically, it doesn't mean that you cannot reverse it. You can still work with your body so that you can bring it down as well. So I was able to do it. I've seen many people do the same as well. Just because it's genetic, it doesn't mean that you have to suffer the effects of it. Take epigenetics in hand, work on your body, your lifestyle, your environment, that will give you a huge shift.
Mm. So your environment can completely change your biology.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
exactly. And
The
then I just
exposure that you have,
and the
right?
exposure, yeah, I think that's a huge one right now. It's our responsibility to question all of the products that we're using instead of
Yes.
being marketed to. So our consumer responsibility is most important because they unfortunately, marketing doesn't have our ultimate health impact.
True, that's true.
Yeah. And then just a couple of things on how what women can do to cleanse their liver and help with liver stagnation, because I think that's a really big one that
Yes.
there's not
Yes.
much information about.
Okay. Yeah, so liver can detox on its own, right? So all our body detoxes on its own. And for you to achieve that properly, you need to have proper sleep. So that's one thing.
Mm,
So by having enough sleep, you will be able to let your body do its work. Okay. So it's not mandatory that you need to take some detox teas or you need to take some routines to detoxify your body. Detox is something that your body can do. But through diet and through foods that can support the liver, you will be able to achieve this a little bit better, right? So, bitters, a lot of bitter foods, and then you have lemon, ginger, turmeric that can also support the liver health, reduce the inflammation, can help this process fasten, right? And one of the best things that you can try to do is castor oil packs for
mm.
your liver. People don't do castor oil packs for the liver. So when you do for your liver and your uterus, you will be able to see a lot of changes happening in your body in a much better way. So doing some hot castor oil packs. So you just apply some castor oil onto your liver, which is right side of your body below your right breast. You apply some nice lavish amount of castor oil, put a muslin cloth on top, and put a hot water bag on top. Let it stay for 20 to 40 minutes. And then you might see that the oil has all seeped inside. You just do a clockwise massage to it. So ensure that you have enough amount of fibers and at the same time good quality probiotics as well, because your gut health is also important when it comes to hormones too. So you need to make sure that you're taking good amount of probiotics. And when you do everything together, then you will be able to see a lot of changes. One very simple trick that I have found is basically using black raisins to bring down your period pain. And I have
Black
clients who
raisins.
have
Black
black
raisins,
raisins, black raisins. And I have clients who have said bye-bye to their period pains, which they had like 16, 19 years as well. So just it's a tremendous thing that you can see in terms of change. So the concept basically is that the raisins, which is made out of grapes, has resveratrol, and black grapes have more amount of resveratrol, and that helps in reducing the inflammations and fighting against the prostaglandins in the body. And that helps you to achieve less pain, right? So it is very simple as soaking 5 to 6 black raisins every night. And next day when you get up, you eat those raisins in empty stomach, right? So this one has B6 as well, which is again required for your body in terms of hormone and also helps with your period health by taking this for a couple of months, just 2 months to 3 months tops, I have seen people reduce their period pain drastically, right? So you can also add seed cycling to it. So flax seeds have lignans in them, so which will help in taking out the excessive estrogen also from your body and ensure that there is good amount of the good quality estrogen that is required by your body too. And by doing seed cycling and by like introducing raisins, just these two, and along with castor oil pack, I'm sure you will be able to reserve your period. I mean, like reverse your period pain. Yeah.
wow, they're incredible tips and easy hacks and not expensive as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just with the, castor oil pack, would you do that weekly or, once a week or
Um,
daily?
I would say if you have an intense pain, I would say do it like every alternative days for a month or so, and then
Mhm.
reduce the levels to like twice a week or thrice, probably twice a week and once a week or so. You can reduce the intensity of it, right? And that will become like a maintenance thing. But if you're going to do it every alternative days at least, that will help you in getting your body sorted in a much better way. Yeah.
Wow, incredible. So, I guess what do you I mean, I could ask you a million more questions, but I guess time is of the essence and you've shared some incredible takeaways. And I think the best thing is for people is to take small changes to implement daily and that creates a bigger
So,
impact. How are you seeing your practice evolving or the scope of women's health and how would you like women's health to evolve?
yeah. First thing would be is that not being taken for granted.
Mm,
And we need more information on how you can make things much easier for women in her life, right? So there have been a lot of changes happening, like you have period leave in the offices happening now, like menstrual holidays happening for a couple of them. And those are good changes that you need to see. But I think we should also understand that we are not meant to, I mean, like, we're not able to, I mean, I would say that we don't have the energy of what masculine basically has. And we have a cycle that entirely differs from what their cycle actually happens. So ours is like a wave, we go up and down, whereas if you see for a male, it's just a straight line, right? So that is a huge difference. Yes, you need that. You need that for your self-confidence and everything. You need to thrive in this world. You need that money to work and everything. That's definitely there. But at the same time, I would also emphasize in understanding how your cycles function so that if there is a possibility for you to work in your productivity levels and everything syncing along with your cycles, I think that will make a huge shift in you. You will still be able to accomplish all the things that you want to do that you're currently doing, but with much ease in your life, is what I would say, right? So that is a huge thing that I actually found as a change in me. Once I started tuning down a little bit, working and scheduling things in my life according to my cycles, I see there is an increase in productivity. So you have a phase where you can deep think. You have a phase where you can work really very well. You have a phase where you can socialize. So when I plan my work according to this, I am able to see a lot of shift and also the productivity levels also go up. Like if I'm able to, if I can rate myself from on a scale, if it was 4, I can rate myself now at 8 because my body itself is able to do that naturally, right? Instead of
mm,
forcing my body to do that, which will drain me in the later stages, which I don't want, right? So I think it's essential for each woman to understand their cycles and work along with it. Now, since you mentioned about the practice, right? So earlier for me, it used to be just diet and lifestyle. I felt like, okay, this is the nutrition you need, this is the lifestyle changes you need. And these are things that you need to stay away, like in terms of toxins and everything, right? So this was just how I started my practice. But I started learning more about like holistic evaluation of a body, the diet, lifestyle, majorly is about emotions. So, what are you trying to accomplish with your body in terms of emotions? What is stagnant in your body? And what are the things that you need to work in terms of releasing these emotions? So, when I've evolved my practice in such a way, I see the change happening faster and also it is long lasting too because they have the answers with them. So, this is why I'm able to, I'm experiencing this. So I need to start working on this emotion, or I need to start to let go of all these things that are stagnant in my life, right? Inner child healing is a huge shift that helped me understand how a body can actually function, right? You have n number of tools now. So you have through body work, you have in terms of vagus stimulations, yoga can help, and all these things. And women should also understand that in each phase of their menstrual cycle, there are different exercises that they need to do as well. Cardio exercises and HIIT work best during ovulatory times, but it is not recommended during menstrual times or the later part of the luteal phase because it will drain them a lot, right? Whereas you can do a lot of restorative yoga during the luteal phase and just resting yourself during menstrual phase and do some basic very minimal cardio and you can do some strength training workouts during the follicular phase to the ovulation phase that will also make a huge shift in your health as well. Since you have to do HIIT, it doesn't mean that you need to do it all 365 days. Work around HIIT, strength training, and restorative yoga. Because when you combine a mix of all together, you will be able to see the shift definitely happening in your body. And that is something that all women should know, is what I feel. the information that I've shared, it can be triggering for some, but I would want you to sit down and think on this and analyze why you're getting triggered by this. So I think it's vital for us to understand that.
And I think we're becoming a new woman. We're redefining that for ourselves in
Yes.
the modern world, and it's based on all of the layers. And if this information is new for you, or you've never really heard of this information before, know that just taking a small step, and that it's all about the self inquiry by all of the tools that you suggested, and they're so incredible. But I think that is the key to us flourishing. And it goes back to, we have all the wisdom inside of us. And if you can just operate in the world with a little bit of inquiry and trust, then you're on the journey to such a better life for all of us. And then our relationships will unfold in everything. And then we can